Diego Martinez, candidate for Congress District 13, north of Fresno, all the way up to Lathrop. Diego Martinez, candidate for Congress District 13, out here in Waking Up, California. I want to thank everybody who's listening to us and all our social media. Diego for Cali 2022, English, Spanish, and on our YouTube channel. Go look for Diego Martinez for Congress on YouTube. Also on KPSF DB radio through satellite radio, which is going on right now. I want to thank everybody for your support. I want to thank everybody out there right now for the donations that you have given. Please keep the donations coming. We are at the end stretch of the midterm elections. I just said it. We are at the midpoint, almost to the end of where we need to start voting. Vote, register, go vote, go register to vote. We'll talk about voting here in a little bit. One of the most important things that we need to know right now, our voices and our votes count. Election fraud is deception fraud. We'll talk about that here in a few minutes when we talk about voting. It is important that we all put ourselves united and that we all start looking at a difference about voting and what is really going on. Who's stealing our elections? Are they being stolen? These are all things that we need to talk about. Our economy. Why did we go up 8.5% of the cost of living in the state of California in the last 30 days? 8.5%. Our economy have flushed down because our economy is in the toilet. But guess what? We're paying 8.5% increase on where we were a month ago to where we are today. These are the stuff that we really have to take a look at and see what we're doing. We'll talk about that today in our program. Again, I want to thank everybody who has donated to my campaign. Our 4x4 signs are out there everywhere right now in the Central Valley. I need some help. We need to push this to the rest. I want to thank the people out in Patterson for having us last Sunday during their Easter festival. It was a great experience. Met a lot of people. I want to thank everybody out there who also joined us and walked the precinct with us. We knocked on a lot of doors. We're getting involved. I want to thank everybody out at CVP for their support. Stanislaus Central Committee, Central Impact Committee for their support of us and being able to push this campaign to the next level. Please donate to the campaign. If you want change in America, if you want change in what's going on, it's time that we donate to grassroots candidates who want to go, who can go, and who can make a difference. My campaign's one of those. We can win this in the midterms and be in the primaries come November. But I can't do it without your help. I need everybody out here to please, if you can only send $5, $10, please donate to my campaign. We need more literature. We need more signage. Michael, didn't forget about you. Vicky, didn't forget about your yard signs. We're still working on them. Last night we were out till late putting out more yard signs. You guys could go on my Facebook, Diego Martinez for Congress, and see everywhere where we hit last night, where our yard signs, our big signs are at. That's where your money's going to. When you donate to my campaign, that's where the money's going to. The money's going straight back into the campaign. I'm not getting a salary. I'm not taking any money out there for personal use. All the money goes right back into the campaign, goes right for materials, goes right for literature, yard signs. We have a huge amount. Radio, we're starting our radio ads are starting to come out. That's what I need the money for. So if you can find in your heart and if you want to make a difference, please donate to Diego Martinez for Congress. The anecdote link will be right underneath here in just a few minutes, or on top. If you go to my Instagram, it's right underneath the profile. On Facebook, it says please donate, and we put a link. Please donate if you can. If you can't donate with money, please come out and support and help walk our precinct. I want to thank Rafael from Target. I met you a couple of days ago. I want to thank you for taking one of my signs and for your support. Everybody at Lowe's over there in Turlock, thank you guys very much. Felt very welcome at your store the other day when I was there. Livingston, thank you for your support and for allowing somebody like myself to be able to put out the signs. And thank you for your support. The people in Merced County, Stanislaus County, I just want to thank everybody for your support and helping us get to the next level. Let's get on to the show this morning. For those of you guys who are watching on social media, leave your comments underneath. We can have discussions about anything that's political. For all of you guys out there who are listening to us on KPSF DB Radio, please send in your emails, and next week we will gladly address every one of our concerns. So let's start talking. We started the morning off talking about voting. What is important about voting? Is there voter fraud? Are the Democrats really stealing our election? I'm going to kind of give it a little bit of time here. Let's see if somebody will put some comments down so we can continue moving forward. The reality is our elections are being stolen. They're being stolen right in front of us, but not the way that everybody wants to talk about. Is it Dominion or is it us? Let me break it down. 11 million people went out to vote for the recall. 11 million. Registered voters in the state of California is 22 million. Was our election stolen? Yes and no, because you could go both ways with this. A lot of you guys may not agree. A lot of you may think that it's just Dominion machines are changing the votes. No, that's not what's really going on. They're stealing our elections by they're stealing your freedom. They're stealing your liberties. They're stealing your rights. Let me say that again. They're stealing our elections by stealing our freedoms, by stealing our rights. They're stealing the one thing that they couldn't do during COVID, your faith, that we can run an honest election. How do they do that? Very simple. They talk about voter integrity. They talk about fraud. They talk about stealing votes, right? That's what they talk about. What they forget to talk about, what they are forgetting to talk about. Go out and vote. Your vote counts. My vote counts. See, what happens is when they start telling you, don't vote, don't bother. Why would you go out there and why would you go out vote? It doesn't matter. The Democrats are going to win anyways. Why are you going out and vote? Don't vote. Don't waste your time with it. Your vote don't count. The problem is that's how they're stealing the election. Yes, only problem is not many are fighting for being scared over their votes, which allows them to get away with it. That is exactly what is going on. Wake up, California. Wake up, America. Go out and vote. Your vote counts. My vote counts. Everybody's vote counts. The problem is that we have sat in a society for the last 4 years that has said, don't vote. We don't need a vote. They're going to steal our elections. How many times do we hear that when we talk in a group? How many times do we hear, don't worry about it. Your vote don't count. They're stealing it anyways. The Democrats are going to win. Or that group or this group. Guess what? The politicians and the career politicians have won. They have won. Because let me ask you this. If the elections were all rigged and Dominion was changing everything, how do we still have Republicans in office? Because if Dominion is really changing your votes, why would you just change one? Let's just get rid of all of them. How the heck is McCarthy still in office? Devin Nunes till he retired. Tom McClintock. How are these Republicans still in office if they're stealing your vote? Gino, good morning. I have not forgotten about your yard sign, buddy. I will get it to you this week. Been extremely busy putting them out. I have not forgotten about you, even though I passed your house 3 times. This week you will get your yard sign, Gino. Thank you for joining us. How are Republicans still in office if they're stealing your vote? They're not stealing our votes. They're stealing our freedom. They're stealing our liberties. They're stealing our voices because we, the people, do not go out and vote. Why? Because guess what? We think it's not going to count. Well, I'm here to tell you, your vote counts. Get out and vote. It is time that we take our state and our country back. It is time that we take our possession back. It is time that we make a change in this country. Why? Because you want change? Change the people you vote for. What is the definition of insanity? Doing the same thing over and over again for what? Expecting a different result. So how can you keep voting for the same candidates, for the same people that are in office today, and expect a different result? Nancy Pelosi, 40 years. Tom McClintock, 10 years. McCarthy, another 20 years. Have they done anything for us? No. That's why where we're at. Stop. Insanity stopped, and it stops in this election. It is time that we come united. Both parties have failed the California people. It is time the California people and the American people stand up and fight. Stand up and vote. Our votes count, and it is time that we tell our neighbors, our friends, and everybody else, our votes count. We need to get out there and we need to vote. We need to vote for who we want, not who the establishment wants. You want to get rid of rhinos? That's the easiest way. Stop listening to the establishment. Do you think 10 people in your county know who the best candidate is? No, they don't, because if they did, we wouldn't be in the problem that we're in. That's the problem here. We listen to other people. Stop listening to somebody else. Start listening to yourself. Start doing some research. Start going out and meeting candidates that represent us, the American people, because we don't have that. What happened to America first? Where's our economy? Where's our education? Where's our prices? Where is America first? We've been sold out by the same people that we put in office time and time and time again, and the buck stops here. It is time that we elect new people to represent us, and if they don't do a job, fire them. It's an election cycle. It is an election cycle. Career politicians, we all talk about this all the time. We want term limits. We don't want career politicians. Then you get a guy like Tom McClintock who comes and speaks. And they're talking about McClintock, 22 years in state legislation. 22 years in state legislation. 10 years in Congress. That's a career politician. I don't know. We talk about we don't want him, but we're voting him back in. What is wrong with us? Our votes count. Our voices count. It is time that we unite as Americans and vote people out of office and vote some real people in office. If they're in assembly, don't vote them anywhere else. Leave them or get rid of them. But our choices is ours. You want term limits? You, me, the American people have that power to get rid of these people. You want to drain the swamp? We can do it. Vote differently. Stop voting the same swamp into office, because that's what we're doing. And they're telling you, your vote don't count. One of the most frustrating things that happened to me this month, I got to listen to a career politician speak. His best point of the night: when are you going to hold the Democrats responsible? When are you going to hold the Democratic Party responsible? When are we going to hold you responsible? Because the Democrats are going to do what you let them get away with. Where is our Republican representation when we need them? Where are they standing up for us? Yet we're going to vote them back in because we don't want to lose a seat, because our votes don't count, because the elections are rigged. Wake up, America. Wake up, California. Our elections aren't rigged. What is rigged is how these people are telling us not to vote. What is rigged? They're taking your freedoms and your rights and your liberties away. They're making us believe that the system doesn't work. So why are you going to go out and vote? Because the system doesn't work. No, the system works and it's working great. They don't need Dominion. They don't need to change numbers. Why? Because we're doing it for them. We're changing our voters count. We're not going out and doing our part. Yeah, we want to sit here and complain. Here's the reality of it, America. Do not complain if you did not go out and vote. Do not complain if you cannot get off your rear and go and do a difference and do something different than what you've been doing. If you do not do your homework on candidates, you cannot complain. If you think a D or an R represents who they are, you're wrong. We have had more rhinos jump into the R category than ever before. Why? Because of the Democrat seat, they think they're going to talk the talk and then switch over to the other side. If they're a Democrat and they've been a good assemblyman and you think they're going to go to Washington and vote different, well, they're not. Why? Because they're still Democrats. And let me ask you this. If it's a Democrat and he's in assembly, what has he done for you lately? Absolutely nothing. Because if he had done something, we wouldn't be in the mess that we're in. We want to talk about all the problems in California. Let's talk about some real solutions. Let's talk about what it really takes to come out ahead. Let's talk about what it takes to make a difference. It takes you, me, your neighbors, your friends, your cousins, your uncles. Modesto, Merced, Fresno area, Kermit, San Juan, Los Baños, so we can make a difference in this election. Please leave a comment if you're able to walk and help and hand out literature. I need money, but if we can't get the money, we need to do the work. And that's the way America and this dream has been built, on the hard work and the hard work of real American people, just like you, just like me. So if you can't donate money, please donate your time. Your time is priceless. If I can just get 5 to 10 people to help me every Saturday, walk a different county, walk a different neighborhood, get yard signs, not only for you, but for your neighbors. Get your neighbors involved, because this represents all of us. I was at somebody's house the other day, and they said, you know what, my neighbors next door are way too liberal. Guess what? This week I'm going to go knock on the liberals' door. Why? Because we are tired as Americans under where we are living. We are tired as Americans of what's going on in this country. Forget about party lines. All the parties have failed the American people. These career politicians got to go. Definition of insanity. Voting the same people back into office, expecting a different result. If they've been in office 5, 6, 10 years and they haven't done anything, guess what? They ain't doing it now in their golden years. If they couldn't do it when they were fighting as young people, what makes you think they're going to fight for you right now when they're ready for retirement? Stop, America. Stop voting the same damn people in office and get with the program. Let's get new people. Let's get new blood. Let's hold our politicians accountable for what's going on, because they're the problem. But the problem starts with me and you. And here's the solution. We, the American people, can make a difference by just voting the right way, getting rid of career politicians, and actually going out and voting, going out and touching doors, going out and talking to people. Yes, I am a Republican, but both parties have failed us. The Republican representation that we have in Washington or even in Sacramento do not represent my values anymore. They do not represent my values. Do they represent your values? Think about that for a minute. Do the people that we have in Washington, D.C. that are Republicans or Democrat or Libertarians, do they represent you, America? Because if they don't represent you, it's time that we get somebody that does. We have very few conservative voices that we all know about. We have very few conservative voices that want to stand up. We need more help. This is our time, and our time to change the election. It is now. May 8th, they're going to mail out your mail-out ballot. May 15th, you should have it. May 15th, we need to go around. We need to tell everybody, vote. And if you're in the Central Valley, if you're in District 13, vote Diego Martinez. I don't care about your party lines. I'm going to represent the American people and the people in my districts to the best of my ability, no matter what side you're with, because I'm with you. Gas is way too high. When I have to decide today whether I'm going to put $100 in my gas tank or whether I'm going to go to the grocery store and feed my kids, we have a problem, America. When I'm looking at jobs and thinking like, man, I'm making $20, $30 an hour and I'm barely scraping by, we have a problem, America. And our problems are legislation. And when I watch that our legislation sits there and votes no on reducing 50% or 50 cents, of the gas tax, and they're okay with it. But then you get assemblymen that don't even show up and vote because they don't care. Yet they want to run for Congress. No, you failed at your job and you have failed us. I am not giving you a promotion. It's not going to happen. If me and you did a lousy job in our jobs, we want to have a job tomorrow. We want to become the supervisor. Yet we want to take assemblymen who have failed us. We want to take assemblymen who want and have failed us and give them a promotion. What is wrong? We're the problem, America. I'll take responsibility. But we all need to look at ourselves and take responsibility for what's going on. We also need to take responsibility that we have failed our future generations if we don't make a difference today. I want to thank everybody for joining us. Got to take a quick commercial break here on KPSF DB Radio Satellite, and we'll come right back in just a few minutes while we listen to our sponsors. For those of you on social media, give us a few minutes and we will go right back. Please leave your comments right now because right now it's a good time to put our comments so that we have our second section of our program to be able to discuss. If you need yard signs, if you want yard signs, please go ahead, leave a comment at the bottom, DM us, get us your address. I'm more than happy to be out there. You might wake up in the morning with the sign, but it will get out there. Gino, I appreciate you. I got to have you on my show. Gino has a new product coming out, which is going to help lower the cost of diesel, help households, help the environment. That's the kind of solutions that America really needs right now, is people like Gino who are inventing and putting things together that will help the environment, but also the cost and our country. We need more people like Gino out there. So if you're out there and you have an invention, you got something that we can help you promote, we are more than happy to do it. We're looking for Gino's prototype to come out. Gino's is kind of unique from what I understand from his product. It basically makes your kitchen oil rise up above water, dumps into its system, and it's recyclable into biofuel. Biofuel's been around for a long time. It's actually one of the cleanest fuels that we have. We should take a really good look at Gino's product. As soon as it hits the market, every household should have one at an affordable price. In a few minutes, we'll be right back on KPSF DB Radio Satellite. And we are back here on KPSF DB Radio, satellite radio, where you can join and listen to Waking Up California every day for a week on the same program, satellite radio. Thank you for your support. Thank you for your sponsorship. And we will continue going with Waking Up California with Diego Martinez, candidate for Congress in District 13, Central California, which is north of Fresno, Kermit, and San Joaquin, all the way up to Lathrop, through the Pacheco Pass, Merced County, Stanislaus County, San Joaquin County is Lathrop, Fresno County, we have you on 99 West. So thank you for joining us. If you're in those areas, please look up Diego Martinez for Congress, District 13, where we are for the people, by the people, and we will make a difference for the American people. Right before break, we were talking about a few things that we need to change. Let's move the gear back just a little bit further here. Where's our economy? How did our economy take an 8.5% increase in the cost of living in just the last 30 days? That's what it is. Don't believe me? Check out the stats. 8.5% increase all of a sudden. Where's that money coming from? Where's it going? Why are we struggling? One word. We forgot. America first. Yes, I know that sounds like a catchy Republican phrase, but it's reality of what's going on. California was the #1 sole provider of gasoline through the United States for years. Our environmentalists have stopped that. They have stopped our what? Drilling, which caused us to go to other countries and depend on them. We went from an American first nation to an American depend nation where we're depending on other countries. We have a food shortage, as you guys can see when you go to the grocery store. Yes, Joe, you did this. Brandon, you did it. You accomplished it. You have cleaned out every aisle. It's not build America better. It's how about just build America first. Build America what the American people are proud to say, bought in America, made in America for the American people. It is a shame that we do not think about America first. We always think about other countries. We talked a little bit about $14 million that got sent to Ukraine. Well, we have got to stop that. I'm going to shift the gears just a little bit. A lot of you guys were around. COVID-19 hit. We were shut down. They did a COVID relief package. The American people got $600 and other countries got 14, 15, 16 billion dollars of California and American taxpayers' money. Why? Why? Why is it our job to send our hard-earned money when our people are struggling to another country, to sexual orientation, this and that? No, when we do a bill in America for American people to rescue American people, should only be for American people. No other foreign nation should be involved. No other foreign nation should be with their hand out. I'm not saying that we don't help other countries. I'm saying that we help America first. America's in a dire need right now. We have got to stop sending our hard-earned money to another country. It is time to bring it here. It's time to keep it here at home. It is time to keep our own tax dollars here in America. They use the money for useless stuff than getting things done. Well, that's America too. That's the people that we have in legislation right now. Why would we send billions and millions of dollars to another nation when America was in dire needs? We were shut down. How many times were we shut down? How many times did our businesses go under? Yet we're helping another nation. That money should have stayed here in America, helping American people and American families. Why? Because we're the ones supporting it. We're the ones dishing out the money. We're the ones planning this because that's where our tax money went, to another nation, to another country. What about America? What happened to America first? That's what this election's about. Is our liberties, our freedom. I want everybody to look around. The American dream is very well alive, but it's only alive because people are living it. You might not believe that you're living the American dream, but look around. Me and my family, we're a perfect example that the American dream is still here. But when legislation, government, and everybody else tells you that the American dream is dead, has fallen, guess what? That's exactly how people think. That's exactly where people go with this. That the American dream is gone. No, they're trying to take our faith away. It's time that we go back to a nation of America first. This I didn't understand, and any of you guys can write in the comments. American people, this country, stands for no child labor. We frown on child labor. We are disgusted by child labor, right? Shops, right? We hate it. Why do we support other nations that have it? Because we can get their goods for free or a lot cheaper than what you can make them in America, but they're exploiting kids, women. Yeah, we don't care because we can buy the product, but it's not happening here. But we're part of the problem there because we're supporting that. Haven't we thought about that a little bit? Why are we going to China for lithium when we can go to Nevada and do it ourselves? Why are we not drilling off the offshores of California because Governor Brown put a say that we can't? No, the federal government needs to step in and say, yes, we can. We're going to be self-sustained. America first. American jobs. Lower the prices of America. Stop selling our land to China. Here you go again, that word again, China. Everybody's so scared of saying it. I'll say it. I don't care. We have got to stop helping China and other people. We have got to help America. We have to help this country, and we have got to come united when it comes to this. It's America first. American jobs for American people. It's the people who are living here. Stop sending our money to other countries. It is time that the money stays here. And I'll say it again. Our legislation has failed. All of us. Our legislation has failed. Both parties. They're both in the same hole. They're both getting money from the same place. Otherwise, things would change. Nothing has changed. You had a president who stood up against all this. Things changed. We were headed in the right direction, and what happened? His own party backstabbed him, turned their back on him. Yeah, that's the people that you're going to reelect. These are the same people that we're going to say, yeah, we know you voted to impeach a Republican president, but hey, it's a Republican in office. We don't want to lose that seat. Get a better Republican. Get a real Republican. Get rhinos out, or build a party of rhinos. The problem is that those rhinos are the ones running this country right now. They're not representing me. They're not representing you. It's a shame. I put this up a couple of weeks ago. California State Assembly had an opportunity to vote 50 cents off your gas. The vote didn't pass. How does that vote not pass? Anybody want to explain that to me? Because I don't know if you're a Democrat, a Republican, a Libertarian. I invite everybody on my show. Why? Because this is a real show. But let me ask you, how did that vote not pass? How is it that we're paying $1.50 more than every other state in gas when our legislation, the people that we put into office, had an opportunity to vote to lower our gas prices? And they didn't do it. People didn't even show up to vote. Assemblymen did not show up to vote. Yeah, they want you to go and vote for them and get them into Congress. They want you to go vote for them so they keep their jobs. Yeah, they didn't respect you and me enough to get off their asses and go in there and vote to lower the gas price. It is crazy times, MC. Man. But we need to unite as Americans for once. We need to unite. That's why Congress is where I need to be. That's why I'm not running for governor. Because our country's falling apart. Not just our state, but our country and our values. And we have allowed career politicians to do whatever they want, whenever they want, with an open checkbook. And guess who's cashing that check? You, me, and the rest of the American people. We have got to stand united and get these career politicians out of office. Both parties have failed us, California. Both parties have failed us, America. It's time that we get candidates that feel America first, American job, border security, economy, and better education for our kids. It is sad to see that they'll spend billions of dollars on CRT training, but they won't spend the millions of dollars that's needed for trade schools. Trade schools should be from elementary school all the way to high school. You should have to do a trade in school. You should not be able to graduate high school without a trade. You should not be ready to go into the world without a trade to be able to produce, to be able to fight, to be able to live the American dream for your family. Yeah, we'll rather spend billions of dollars on sexual training. We'll rather exploit our kids at a young age to sexuality instead of exploiting them to a toolbox, electrician box, a hammer, a nail, a cooking class, an economics class, a law class. We depend so much on colleges that our basic education is not even basic anymore. No kid get left behind. That was a stupid law and a stupid saying. I cannot believe that somebody will actually believe in that BS anymore. No kid got left behind. You are correct. All the kids got left behind. Because now, they don't even need to read to graduate high school. You just got to show up. You just got to show up to class and we'll move you over. Why? Because we got more kids coming. Push them through. School choice, that's a Band-Aid on a bad problem. That is a Band-Aid. Pull the damn Band-Aid off. Go to the root of the problem. De-root this. Get real teachers that want to teach. Get the right education that our legislation need to put in place for our kids to learn. Get real education. Get real people, because otherwise we're never going to do this. That's the truth, America. You guys want to change education? De-root it. Decertify teachers who don't abide by what we want our kids. Teachers, parents. Parents should have control of what their kids learn. School choice isn't the answer. Do you really believe that by putting out school choice that the other schools that are doing really bad are going to do better? No, America, they're not. Why? Because they don't have a choice. The kid has to go to that school. How many good schools are in your district? Oh, wait, because I ask this all the damn time. How many good schools are there in your district? It is sad when teachers are making videos disrespecting parents like, oh, you aren't my boss. I can't do that. Stop. That starts at home. We need to teach our kids respect, and we need to teach them at home. We have got to stop government overreach. It is our job as parents to raise our kids, not the government's job, but our job as Americans. It is our job to teach respect to our kids. It is our job to discipline our own kids. Government has overreached. Government has killed our society, and we have stood idly by. It is time to stop and take our country back. Take our kids back. Take our livelihood back. So to answer your question, maybe one good school in each school district. One. How many kids can you fit in one school? What about the other 95% of the kids? Where are they going to go? Yeah, we want to talk about school choice. Parents saying, I'm going to teach my kids at home. That's great. Maybe for my generation. But look at the generation that just graduated. I have a daughter who graduated, and her friends. I don't think they're even capable of teaching themselves, let alone teaching their kids an education. Charter schools need to step up, but we need to be able to fund charter schools to be able to oversee and make sure that they're doing the right thing and giving the parents the material that they need to be able to teach their kids. When are parents going to teach kids? We need both parents working just to survive on an 8.5 increase of the cost of living in 30 days. America, wake up! That's all I can say. Wake up, America. This isn't about party lines anymore. This is about our country, our freedoms, and our liberties. And it is time that we stand united to get our land back, to get our God-given freedoms back. Constitutionalists, what is a constitutionalist? I hear this all the time in the campaign trail. Oh, this candidate is a constitutionalist. You guys want to know if somebody's a constitutionalist or not? Here's a simple. Talk to me about the Second Amendment. How do you feel about the Second Amendment? Every person who's running for office who's a Republican will tell you this. I believe in the Second Amendment. I'm going to defend the Second Amendment. I'm going to stand behind the Second Amendment. Really? Exactly what does that mean to you? You're going to stand behind the Second Amendment. What does it mean? Oh, carry concealed. You want everybody to have a carry concealed. Yeah. Well, that's not the Constitution. So you're really not a constitutionalist. Constitutionalist says a well-armed militia to defend domestic or terrorist attack. It doesn't say you can only have a 9 or a 5 or 6 or a 10 round magazine. It says that you have got the right to bear arms for your freedom. It doesn't restrict on an AR-15 or a 9mm or a 45. It does not restrict what you're allowed to own. So you're really not a constitutionalist if you think carry concealed. Carry concealed is permission from the sheriff in that county to allow you. Wait, it's a constitutional right, but I got to ask permission from daddy if I can. Constitution is the Constitution of the United States. We should all be fighting for constitutional carry in every state. We have seen statistics back and forth that 80% of the crime goes away when people open carry or constitutional carry. You know what? I have a carry concealed, but you can only carry 3 of your guns. Well, what if that gun doesn't quite fit what I'm wearing today? It doesn't matter. You better make that choice once every 2 years to figure out which guns are going to fit your whole lifestyle. It doesn't work that way. We need to fight for our freedoms and our constitutional rights. And when somebody says they're constitutionals, challenge them. Challenge them. Challenge their ideas. Because guess what? If they don't know the Constitution, how can they be a constitutionalist? How can they say they're going to abide by the Constitution of the United States if they don't even know it? If they think carry concealed, everybody should carry one. No. You know what? Constitutional carry. Is it going to make jobs a lot easier? No. Because guess what? If you're a bank robber and everybody in that bank has a gun, you're not going in there and robbing that bank. You might shoot one, but 10 people are going to shoot you dead. Might hold crime back a little bit. Law and order in this country, it has gone wayside. Public safety, what does that mean anymore? There is no better time than to take our country back than now. There is no better time than when we need to fight united for a better future. It is now, before this place doesn't exist, before law and order as we knew it doesn't exist. As a matter of fact, the generation before me, my generation, probably the next generation, we don't even know what law and order means. Not the way we grew up, where if you spit at a police officer, you went to jail. There was a fine. There was crime. It's been committed. Well, if you do the crime, do we remember this? You have to do the time. Where has that gone? Now, hard-working, honest citizens get punished. They help us break the law. But they're letting criminals out. They're signing and releasing them. They're not holding them accountable. Yet law-abiding citizens always have to be accountable. The shooting in New York, tragic as it is, get ready, gun manufacturers, because they're going after you. Get ready for real American people who own guns. They're going after you. Why have we allowed legislation to go after us and not the criminals? Why have we allowed legislation to say, you're a gun owner, you're a criminal? No, we're not. We're right, honest people who believe in our constitutional rights. No, guns isn't for everybody, and you should take a course. You should be safe about having a gun. But it should be your God-given freedom under the Constitution of the United States that you should be able to carry that gun wherever you want for your own safety and your own protection. Public safety is getting so bad that I don't know anybody that shouldn't be carrying a gun today. But if we're going to have gun violence, we should go after the illegal guns. We should go under the illegal people who own these guns, who are in possession of them, not the law-abiding citizen who's trying to get a gun to defend themselves because our law and order and our public safety has gone wayside and we don't even feel safe in our own neighborhoods or our own homes anymore. Brings us to border security. I'm a believer in border security. I'm a believer in security for American people in our country. It's not to stop illegal aliens from coming in that we secure our borders. Human trafficking and the drugs are destroying our youth. I know all about that. I know what drugs do to our youth. I know how they destroy families. Drugs don't care if you're white, black, Asian, Hispanic, rich, poor. Somehow or another, drugs infiltrate every lifestyle. I know. I have kids who have fallen for drugs. I deal with that every day. I deal with what happens when drugs come into this country and they get in our youth. I deal with the governor of California when he says we're going to put up a shoot-up clinic, not a rehab clinic. How many families and how many lives do drug affect every day? It's affected my family. It's affected my life. It's affected my kids' lives. When people say, why do you want to run for office? This is why. Because I'm just like you. And I understand the effects that drugs have on our families. And I understand the effect that weak border security, weak laws, cause our families. I don't say this very much, and I don't talk about my kids a lot. I love my kids dearly, just like any parent would. But drugs have consumed my kids. Not all of them, but a few of them. Doesn't matter how you upbring your kids. When they become adults, they make their own lives. But we don't have people fighting for us. We don't have legislation who actually understands that. They try to cover it under the rug. Nobody knows. Nobody cares. I'm a real person, blue-collar worker, just like each and every single one of you. I'm an American, and I'm proud to say that. I'm a taxpayer, just like the rest of you. I understand what it's like to go to the gas station. put $100 in my gas tank, or look at the grocery list and say, what am I not buying today? I know what it's like to live paycheck to paycheck, and I know what it's like to live the American dream. I would like to be able to share that future with the next generation. As the late Ronald Reagan said, we are one generation away from socialism. Let that not be our generation. I want to thank each and every single one of you for joining me today in Waking Up California with Diego Martinez, candidate for Congress in District 13, the person who will fight for each and every single one of you. I want to thank everybody out there at KPSF DB Satellite Radio who is watching our show. Thank you all for your support. Please keep the donations coming. We have plenty of yard signs going out. We need more. Thank you, and please join us next week on Waking Up California with Diego Martinez, candidate for Congress.